Hi, and welcome to Salento with Love. I'm Davide MENGOLI, and another great episode of Palazzo Angelini. Amazing how these things is gently coming together and we see the transformation. I am sure that you're going to enjoy this episode of Palazzo Angelini, so I'll see you at the end. Electrician has just finished to do this massive spaghetti junction, almost done. And once all this is done, it gets cleared up, and then 3 inches of concrete will actually be poured down to create a flat surface ready to accommodate the new flooring, which is going to be a natural stone. But incredible to see the amount of work that needs to be done. So all these parapets now, they're all getting fixed and all the ledges at the top are getting replaced, but little things like this, removing them can really make a huge difference. Sometimes perhaps other workers will just chop them with an angle grinder and then plaster over it. Yeah, okay, you don't see anything. But what happens after a few years? Well, what happens is that the metal that is embedded inside the stone rusts, and it would just crack your plaster. So just make sure when you do things that you do them properly, and sometimes relying on the workers doesn't necessarily mean that the work is going to be done properly. It may look beautiful. So elements like that for me are very important. It's just like it's my own house. So very important to think ahead, years ahead. And from an aesthetic point of view, immediately, it makes no difference, just like a lot of other things on the building site make no difference at that moment. But from a maintenance and a management point of view, years down the line, the materials that you use, the way you do the work, really makes a difference. We have Gianni working on this side. Now, all the ledges that you can see standing here or in the garden are getting replaced. So there is a uniformity all the way around. Also the ledge, as we've said in previous videos, is a lot thicker, and it has a channel there which allows the water to drip down, drip, and then drip down without really going onto the wall, or at least limiting the amount of water that actually goes onto the wall and getting your wall dirty. Even this is a job, and it's a art in putting it together, having your string there with your line, following the line, giving the right angle for the water. Absolutely fantastic. We are actually witnessing the rebirth of this palazzo, and in doing so, using materials that were used hundreds of years ago when it was built. So I like the idea of bringing the 21st century in terms of comfort, but still making things in a beautiful way. I'm talking about those metal things that Antonello is just removing over there. Well, you know what that was? Well, we have one on this side. Very often people ask me when they go onto a roof terrace, I can do a whole video talking about them. I say, what is this contraction here? Well, very simple. This was where a wooden pole would go in there, and then there would be another one contrasting on the other side of your roof terrace, and then a metal wire, and that was for just hanging the washing. So as we're looking at the roof terrace, for example, here we have one over there and one over there. and you see the hole is in it. So again, stick goes in, and the metal across. Well, in this particular case, this is why sometimes removing some elements that have been somehow polluting the building through the course of the 50s and 60s. But that one over there must have broken. And so they've replaced it with a metal bracket, probably 50 years ago. And a bit of a job, probably the last half an hour, breaking, cutting to take it out. But it was replaced with metal. You see that's left now, a big hole. So no more rust in there, no more breaking or cracking the walls. Yeah, this is what I mean, doing it properly and doing it right. Little things like this really, really make the difference. Thank you for watching my videos, but if you haven't become a subscriber yet, press the subscribe button, leave a comment. We always appreciate your comments. Thank you. Palazzo Angelini coming together at an amazing pace. Oggi ti abbronzi, eh?
Oggi sì.
So these are the joints that they need to be filled one by one. First to get the stone wet so the cement sticks nicely, and then they get joint, and then they get filled one by one. Oh, are you still there? That means that you are enjoying our videos. Thank you very much for following the channel. Did you know that every Friday we issue a video called Thank God It's Friday, and you can see it if you join our membership. Do that, and I'll see you every Friday. Well, what you're going to see up on the roof, you need sunglasses. But just as I'm coming out, very important as well when you're working with this restoration project and you're working with old buildings, the walls are never going to be straight. It's just the way it is. Nothing is straight, which adds to the beauty really of the architecture of that period. But at the same time, when it comes to then fitting doors and windows, it could become a little bit of an issue. So just in certain areas, as I'm coming through to approach the roof here, well, we actually have to put these edges dead straight to allow the frame of the door to fit there, rather than having anything added, any metal strips or any cornices added. So this allows, I mean, obviously once it gets finished and plastered all in white, you won't see it. But what I do see, it's a super straight with the same distance there. So the frame of the door would fit perfectly in that space. So very important if you're having doors and windows fitted to make sure that the walls around it are straight. Otherwise you'll end up with big gaps, which normally they get filled with an expanded foam or anything like that. And then it adds to the work that you've got to do. But now we're stepping outside. Beautiful to see all the ledges. Now this is just the first coat of plaster that has been applied. Then a second one gets applied, and then a white, dropping that little thing there. If you look on previous videos, there was like a piece sticking out there, probably a reminiscence of a previous shape of the building. Now that is straight, which is wonderful. Getting ready as well to put the downpipes for the rainwater. In this particular case, this is real copper, not plastic, not tin, sprayed copper color, real copper, which is beautiful, and it just adds to the beauty and the history of the Palazzo. Also beautiful because the patina builds over a period of time. So happy with the progress here. So much work to do. Amazing the opportunity to give strength again and extending the life as well of these buildings. So coming together really well. So now two massive slabs have arrived, which they're going to be the lids of the towers outside. And they're just discussing how they're going to bring it up. I can see why doing it in one single piece wasn't possible, which is what I wanted. Already cut into two pieces is huge. I'm sure you have enjoyed this incredible episode full of so many things. It's amazing to see how a property can really be transformed and can be brought into the 21st century. And it's happening with the hands and the skills of a lot of incredible craftsmen. Well, until the next episode, make sure you do the most important thing, which is stay safe wherever you are.